Unreasonable happiness is contained in the archetypology of Sagittarius season and projected onto the planet Jupiter. Jupiter buoyancy. Jupiter, when things are buoyant, even though it's the biggest planet, we can take ourselves lightly. And in that lightness and in that buoyancy, we have a word that's not necessarily happiness, but is probably closer to wholeness. And in that wholeness, we can be incredibly happy when we experience horror and tragedy. What does that mean? When we are whole, we can feel the entirety of an emotion as it comes up. Oh my God, there's this potential of death looming on the horizon, and I'm experiencing fear. And our higher self, our oversoul, or whatever we want to call it, our higher consciousness, our divine self, our spiritual self, whatever, ultimately knows ultimately knows that there is a flow and there is a rhythm in the universe and that everything's perfect. There's the place of happiness. Because what else is a definition of happiness? Getting what you want. I mean, is happiness just the satisfaction of desire? I mean, that some people can argue that, yeah, I'll be happy when I get my car. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I make $1 million. But anybody who's done any of those things know that that doesn't make you happy. And so happiness comes from us in the astrological context. Sagittarius as a reflection of happiness. Sagittarius is again the synthesizing of life experience into wisdom. Let me look back at Capricorn season. What could I learn? What wisdom can I extract from my experience in Capricorn season? Well, it sucked and I couldn't find enough wood and I had to struggle to survive, but you know what? I learned perseverance and strength, darn it. And Sagittarius extracts that lesson and integrates it into its being. So Sagittarius now has a part of wise Capricorn in it. And then Aquarius season hit. And we learned how to innovate and diversify. We learned how to pivot and we learned how to dance with complex equations. And there was some trauma in that, and maybe we were lonely, and maybe nobody understood us. But you know what? We learned out who we really were. And Sagittarius extracts that wisdom and brings it into its being. So now, contained in Sagittarius is a little bit of Capricorn and a little bit of Aquarius. And hopefully, the wisest, happiest parts of that. Well, let's keep going. I mean, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so by the end of the year, by the end of life experience, by the end of any experience, what we want is to extract the wisdom from that. So theoretically, if we've done this consciously, when we are confronted with a Capricornian challenge, Sagittarius happiness can say, oh, okay, here I go. Just gonna walk up the mountain again and get slapped in the face by Ocotillo. Thorns are easy to pull out, though. Ha ha ha. Oh, it's Virgo season. Yeah, I gotta bring in the harvest, and I gotta can the beans, and I gotta, hang the flowers to dry, and just be very careful how I dry the basil. Oh, so much work. But hey, I get to survive in Capricorn season and have seed for next year. Ha 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 ha. So then Sagittarius, when faced with a Virgoan or Capricornian, etc., experience, can approach that from a more omniscient, integrated, wise place that says, oh, yeah, here I am doing Virgo again. Oh, here I am doing Capricorn again. Okay, I know what this is like. This sucks. I can't wait for it to be done. But you see what I'm saying? And that's wise Sag. And that's happiness, is when we have life experience and we say something like, okay, here I am in a life-threatening situation where people around me could suffer. Okay, how can I, having lived even genetically sometime in the or in our past lives, we've experienced just about everything. Okay, how can I maintain my composure and not lose my cool and be a strong rock for those that need me while I still exist incarnate as a human at the very least? Okay, I just took a deep breath. I got that going for me. Whoa, there's another deep breath. And sometimes Sagittarius, happiness, holy crap. Here's a second. Whoa, I'm right on the edge of obliteration. Whoa, okay, here's another second. Okay, and so, make no mistakes. Not like, oh, yeah, I'm on the edge of death. Fun. Or like Jim Morrison, I don't know, I'm gonna get my kicks before the whole shit house goes up in flames. All right. Like an unconscious Sagittarius Jim. Come on, dude.